Hey everyone, it's Char from Char's Fascination. Something creepy. This just rolled across the table and it didn't a moment ago, and I've had that on the table for a little while. So maybe we could do a little makeup spoopy story time. Now, this one I'm going to do on my own. Now, this Sunday I'm supposed to be collabing with, oh my gosh, the real lady electrician. And also Jamie. I love Jamie. Jamie's cool. Both of them are. Now, I don't have any setting powder on. I did the rest of my face earlier. Well, not the rest of my face. I put on my foundation, which is Juvia's Place, and so is my concealer. And I really like the fact that you only need like a little dab. We'll do another video on that. So I'm just going to put my setting powder under my eyes. Now, these products that I'm using, I actually got from winning a giveaway from my friend Ann Rankin. If you don't know, she has a channel called Just Ann. She has a second channel called Just Ann's World. Why? Because it's all about her world. Because it's just Ann. You know? And Ann is pretty cool. I like her. So yeah, a lot of spoopy stuff, right? And if you can't like really see, hold one moment please. That light no light moment, just like we need with like that makeup no makeup look. Oh my gosh, you know who I've been watching lately when I want to like watch it? Other than the fact that I watch Explore With Us, they're really good. I've been watching Bailey Sarian. She is so friggin' cool. And I love her backdrop. Like, girl, you're cool. But anyway, you just saw me with the setting powder. Grab a brush or see. Oh, and let me show you like the Morphe at Manny MUA or Morphe Plus or times Manny MUA Glam palette is what I'm using today. I wouldn't have this if it wasn't for my lovely friend. Thank you, Anne. This is what she looks like. Isn't that beautimous? That's beautimous. So I'm trying to find, you know, like when you eventually have a lot of brushes and you can't find that one, right? Oh, here we go. There's that one. You guys know my go-to brush is usually my e.l.f. brush. That's what I usually do. So anyway, as you guys well know, or if you don't, the house that I live in is haunted. Now you know this. So we're going to go into probably this one right here. If we didn't go into that one, we would have gone into this one, and I'll just mix them. Now, I will say that's a little bit dusty, but whatever works. See, this is why I don't dig in my palettes, because you never know what might be a little bit dusty. Right? So now that we have done it. Okay. So, when I first moved into this house 3 years ago, okay, been that long, I would tell my friend, I'm like, is there something wrong with your house? They'd be like, why? And I'm like, yeah, no. You ain't alone in this house, even though you think you might be alone. So, he's like, you know, I've had other people tell me that would come and house sit, they would never come back and house sit for this house ever again. And I'm like, you know, there's a reason for that, because we would hear this knocking, like, on wood is that, like, and nobody was there, or was something. So, I'm here by myself, right? Like, absolutely nobody home. For like a few times, or even in some of my videos, I am the only one home. So it's like I hear these knocking sounds, so I go looking around the house. Now there are some spooky videos on my channel showing some of this spookness. And so what is like the weirdest part of this, I can say it's weird, is that it didn't really want to seem to be malicious at first. It just, like, these things want to play with you and see what can happen. So, was it okay at first? Sort of. And then shit changes its mind. And maybe it was a new Spoopy. I don't know. We call him Spoopy. That's what we call him in this house. So it's like before my friend got his divorce from a woman that lived here, and she was always trying to murder him, and she was playing with voodoo and black magic. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, bitch was trying to summon some shit up, and that's her own fault because shit will come back on her. She has bad luck now. You know, karma. It happens. So anyway, you guys, so after a while, you start hearing the tapping even more. Now, at first the tapping only used to be at the other end of the house. So, all of a sudden, one day, that changed. Like the lighting in here, it changed. Right? And so the weird thing about that is, apparently the tapping had been here like for years, right? The people that had this house before, an Italian family that owns a pizza place, the local pizza place, Papa Luigi's. Good food, by the way. You know, one of their family members like works there. One of the girls, she had, when she was a little girl, she carved her name into a part of the office in the house. Just like, whatever, her name is still there. And I was talking to her one day about, you know, like the knocking noises, right? She's like, I thought those were only in the attic. No, girl. Oh, no. She's like, oh, God, no. I thought that those were like something in the attic. And I'm like, oh, no. That thing moves around the house because it did, right? We haven't heard, we call them Tommy knockers. We have not heard the Tommy knockers in a while. And then get this. My friend's elderly mother moves in. Because there's some other stories behind it too. But she has recently moved in. Because she's at that point in her life. But before that, I had gotten some images of shadow people walking behind me in another video from a couple of years ago, right? So it's like really weird. It's called Sew. I've answered a request, you know, sew as in sewing. And so that was spooky by itself. I figure out which one I don't know what that holds. We'll go with this one. So it's like, that wasn't just weird enough, right? The Tommy knockers were going from one side of the house to the other, and extra shit was happening before, you know, his ex-wife moved out. She gets her karma too, but I think I already said that. Go get this color for my eyebrow. I didn't do my eyebrows. I would just like dip into a palette just to my eyebrow. I'm going with, I can't see this. Does that say Aries? Yes. Aries. Aries, Sinister. Anyway, kind of like the spookies in the house. So it's like, I'm here by myself again because, you know, people have shit to do. And I hear a door open, and I'm the only one here, so it's like, of course you're gonna freak out. You're the only one home, you're gonna freak out, right? And so I'm like, you know what? After I got my camera, I decided, or one of my phones, I had decided to take some pictures around a certain area of the house. And what's funny is, not funny, it's creepy, but at the same time, it's kind of, after my friend's mother-in-law, you know, passed away, I'm taking a series of pictures and I'm showing them to him, and he's like, wait, hold on, go back to that one. So I do, and he's like, oh my gosh, that's my dead mother-in-law, then mother-in-law. He's like, that's my dead mother-in-law in the picture, because that's how she would dress. And I'm like, are you sure? And he's like, oh yeah, I'm sure that's her. And so it's like, I'm a little bit freaked out by that, you know. Did she come back? Because, you know, your wife is still cheating on you. She promised her mom that she would stop cheating on my friend. And I'm like, now, the only reason that somebody would come back is if somebody broke a promise to them. And, you know, sure enough, you know, his ex wouldn't stop cheating on him, whatever. I think that's why it's his ex. I forgot this brush has like 2 brushes, not just that one. I keep forgetting that. I'm going to have to start remembering that. But this one doesn't. It doesn't really matter. So anyway, because his ex-wife used to take their daughter to the cemetery with a Ouija board, because y'all know, don't be doing that shit. Kids are very sensitive, and you don't want that shit coming home with you. Like, leave the fucking Ouija board the fuck alone. Don't be playing with that shit. I have Ouija board stories that scare Jesus out of your a-hole. Okay? But anyway, getting back to that is, the weird shit started, you know, getting stronger and stronger. But if you have somebody in the house that's like sensitive to this, they pick up on it and they just start showing themselves. Why is something on my lash? Weird. So yeah, that's actually what happens when, you know, like on the other side, or a mirror happens to be a portal, because the creepy thing is hanging in the hall, because that's what's here. So over the years, the last couple of years, when I've had a better like camera that you guys know sometimes I film with, that I would say that this one's kind of dusty. You have to be careful with this palette. It's very beautiful, and I don't mess it up. But so anyway, I take my camera and a flashlight. So I did the flashlight thing down all by the mirror. And I start asking some questions. Lo and behold, I shit you not, the flashlight turns and goes dim. Would you stay? I have no other choice, but would you stay? And I would not abandon my friend, but would you stay in a haunted house? It's only a good question. You ponder on that question and answer yourself with that. Okay, you know what? I might go ahead and try to leave a little bit of that gold, just like right now. A little bit. Can't really tell in this light, but anyway, so Yeah, the weird shit, right? Um, it only kept getting stronger. So eventually, use a brush. Um, eventually, like, the weirdness just keeps getting stronger. So it's like, what do we do? What do we do? Can't really do anything because what you can do, call Ghostbusters? No, because they're not real. Um, but it's like we will sit in the kitchen and just try to have like breakfast and coffee and chit chat before things have to be done around the house. What is this one in here? Who knows? Anyway, it's an eyeliner. So when sitting having coffee one morning, right? So we're just sitting there minding our own business, and like his oldest, no, his youngest son and his daughter are both at school, and at this point, his daughter was in grade school. So I know a lot of people can't stand to see other people line their eyes like that, whatever. So his, his daughter's at school. His then wife was out doing whatever, we don't know. Not that we care. And we're just sitting there chit chatting, daily thing, talking about all this spoopy shit in the house. So we're sitting there, we're just chit chatting about that. And a door opens and closes by itself, and you hear what sounds like this is some serious creepies. What sounds like an old person down in that hallway oh my gosh, we can't even really comprehend what it was saying, but it was saying something. And oh my gosh, there just happens to be this creepy crawl space in the basement, right? So, we're down there checking it out, trying to make sure, like somebody isn't trying to play some sort of joke, because his ex-wife would pull some shit and, have her little bougie friends try to mess with us. They know better. But she would try to have her little bougie friends mess with us, so we thought, okay, this is just one of her little bougie friends. So we gotta check it out. Nothing. There is a creepy crawl space in the basement that when we opened it up, and I mean creepy crawl, we opened it up, and in it happens to be like some sort of coffee table set up as a table, or trying to look like some sort of bed or something. And we find a, oh my gosh, what the hell were those? Okay, we have DVD. Ones before that. Anyway, and so it's like, we're looking like, what is a VCR? We found a VCR, right, in the creepy crawl space with this table that's also made up to look like some sort of bed. And the creepy crawl space is so long and wide that if you were that short, somebody would be able to hide in there. What in the hell? No. Just no. no, no, fuck no. So it's like we find that and we close it back up and we're like, let's not talk about this in front of the kids because we don't want them freaked out because, they're kids and you don't need to freak out kids. So, clean that up. But, oh my God, the weird shit, and we'll do more of these videos because, like I said, I have something coming up with some fellow creators. Yeah, like, grab something really bolus. So, eventually, like, his son hated going in the basement, and eventually he said, why? He said, because I feel like the basement is super creepy. No shit, really? Because it's super creepy. Using Judy's place. I wonder why, because that just sounds so familiar. What in the heck? And the only times I would go in the basement is if I was doing my laundry or if he had me help him with something in the basement, like with laundry. So, basement, washer and dryer, creepiness. That is just not a basement that used to be a basement that you could hang out in, okay? Because it used to be a full finished basement. So, yeah, it just got to the point nobody wanted to go in the basement. Do I blame them? No, I do not blame them. Why? It's because, like, you can just, like, sharpen that. I do have my other eyeliners and stuff, but I do love this. Get this one. I can't remember where I get this one. I think it was Shop SA. Anyway, so yeah, like, super creepiness is going on in the house. I know, I put one on, but sometimes I do this. So, does that make living here any, like, easier and stuff? No, but you do learn how to live with it. So, we learned how to live with a certain one. When you have animals, animals are so sensitive, they will literally warn you about what's going on. And, like, okay, so, like, the cat would freak out. This was before we had Kitten, when we only had Hercules here. So Hercules would look down the hall and just kind of freak out and just not want to go down there, even though he would go into my friend's daughter's room, only if she picked up the cat and carried him down the hall. And then he would run back once he got out of her room, for like whatever duration of time. She'd open up the door and he would bolt out of that room because the knocking was coming from her closet at one point. When that shit's coming from your closet, it's not good, right? So it's like, since then, Hercules has never wanted to be down at, in that room. He would just be like, nope, let me out of here. I ain't staying for nothing. And, you gotta feel sorry for the animals when this happens to them because it's not their fault that they're sensitive like that. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just doing a low-key story time thing. Because why the hell not? Because we're not leaving it like this. Because, like, that's like Mary Lou and the how you do. Right? But yeah, ever since then, right? Because you guys know, I have my dress form over here, and then I have the haunted chair right there, which you guys can obviously see. That chair actually does move by itself. So it's like, one day I'm in here filming, and the chair goes scoop. After, and this is only after I start hearing the knocking in my room. So basically this one is about, if you want to check out that video called So I Have Answered a Request, and it was for sewing, I will try to link that down in the description box and here. And at 4 minutes and 11 seconds into that video, if this is my luck, you will actually see, and then if you continue watching after that, you will actually see shadow people. And this is after we started hearing knocking at this end of the house. Now, I have other spoopy stories for you guys, which entail, like, places that I've lived that I knew was haunted, whether it be civilian housing or military housing. And wow, the haunted shit that I have not only heard but seen, you all will be like, wow. You all just heard that. What the F? Anyway, stay happy, stay healthy, stay positive, and as always, stay blessed. And I hope that did not spook the shit out of me. It probably did. It spooked me. If you didn't just notice. Wow. Wow. And leave your comments, because you know y'all heard that. And everybody's in the kitchen. Except for me, obviously. I'm in here. I will see you guys in the next one.